Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United and Darren Fletcher confirmed as interim manager. But there's a lot more news which has come out. Let's discuss what is actually happening around United's next manager and the expected timeline of it all. Right, I don't think any of us expected this Monday to go how it has gone. Ruben Amorim has been sacked, caught us all by surprise, even if we all felt, let's be honest, the season has not gone the way it should so far and the results haven't been there. I still didn't think he was going to get sacked. But those comments he made after Leeds, yeah, maybe I did. Anyway, I'm going to run through in this video, going to focus purely on what's going on next. Who's coming in? I'm going to speak to you about Darren Fletcher, a little bit on him, and also about what happens after Darren Fletcher, because there's been so much reported in multiple different places today. I'm going to try and summarize it all for you with accurate information. If you are new in town, please do consider subscribing, because I try my best every single day to bring you accurate info, rather than just the loudmouth stuff. I try my best. I don't always succeed. Let's get through it. Get through it, get into it. This was the statement from Manchester United on Ruben Amorim. You can see at the bottom there, Darren Fletcher will take charge of the team against Burnley on Wednesday. And that was the news that was confirmed straight away. I kind of misinterpreted this because it happened in real time and I was live. I thought it meant that Darren Fletcher was in until the end of the season. But what has since been confirmed is that Darren Fletcher is in for the game against Burnley, in the game against Brighton, but there's no confirmation of what's going to happen after that. Now, it looks like Travis Binion's going to be in the dugout with him. Travis Binion is Manchester United's under-21s coach. And I think Carlos Fernandez and Delio Candido and all the Ruben Amorim's backroom staff, I imagine they've got sacked as well, but no actual confirmation on that. But Darren Fletcher's going to have his first press conference ahead of the Burnley game, 5 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing Darren Fletcher join the likes of Ryan Giggs, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ruven Nistelrooy, Michael Carrick as former United players who have stepped in to be interim manager. But this is where it changes, okay? James Ducker for the Telegraph is reporting that United have the intention of appointing a caretaker manager until the end of the season and to then bring in a permanent manager in the summer. Now, the first thing I want to say about that, and I said this morning, so I'll stand by that, United absolutely should not be bringing in another permanent manager mid-season. We need to have a caretaker manager. Whoever it may be, and I'm going to run through the options now, you can't bring in another manager mid-season ever again. That's an experiment which has failed at Manchester United. Would it have been different with Ruben Amorim? I don't know, if I'm being honest, but considering it was a 3 at the back system going into the squad, but it certainly would have been different at the start. Anyway, this is something that is different about this one, it feels like for me. When Amorim came in to replace Ten Hag, where were we? 14th, 15th? Like, season was pretty dead by that point. I know it wasn't dead because it was November, but it was pretty dead. This season is very much open. So whoever comes in is going to have 4 or 5 months as caretaker manager of Manchester United and can genuinely, completely impact the second half of this season. Get us into those Champions League spots. Hell, even get us into the top 4 and change the course of what happens next season. So it's a big role. Who are the contenders? Because when you think about this, who's going to be a caretaker manager of Manchester United in the knowledge that come the summer, they want someone else? You're there just to keep the bed warm. That rules out a lot of managers. And it kind of makes you look towards former players. And it might make you look towards former interim managers. I'm telling you, Ole's going to be one of the first names that they call. Somebody who, he'll do anything for the club. Would I love to see him back? I'm not against it at all. In this caretaker manager role. Like you could say the exact same thing about Solskjaer that I could say about Michael Carrick. All right. Michael Carrick out of a job since he's left Middlesbrough. Solskjaer's out of a job. Who was he at? Was it Fenerbahce? No, not Fenerbahce. Istanbul. Istanbul Besiktas. No. Başakşehir? Who cares? It was Istanbul. Any Turkish fans, don't get at me in the comments. Both of them are out of a job. Former, like Carrick, what was he? Did he go like 3 games unbeaten and then he left? I think that's what he did. Can't exactly remember. Was that before Amorim? I think it was. And Solskjaer was interim after Ten Hag and then got given the job on a full-time basis. Both of those are going to be contenders. Ruud will be a contender as well. Didn't exactly go well with Leicester. Pretty damn good interim for Manchester United. Or was it Ruud who was an interim before Amorim? When was Carrick an interim? I'm getting confused, man. We've had so many damn managers, so many ex-players as interim managers. I can't remember the list. But Rude's going to be on that list as well. And I've seen quite a few people suggesting that Kieran McKenna might be in this list. And I don't really know why Kieran McKenna would be near this list of caretaker managers. He's currently manager of Ipswich. They're third in the Championship, having a very strong season and promotion push. Kieran McKenna's coming nowhere near a caretaker role at Manchester United. Would he be interested in the role? Permanent role? No, I mean, of course it would be. Do I think Manchester United would be looking at Kieran McKenna for the permanent role? I don't think they will be. But he would like it. And then on top of... You've got all these managers here, right? I'll be completely honest. I think any of Solskjaer, Fletcher or Carrick would be good for that caretaker role. And it's not me copping out. You could say that if you want to. Fletcher. He's got 2 guaranteed games now. Maybe even 3. Maybe 3 or 4. Who knows? But at least 2 against Burnley and Brighton. Could he do enough to impress that he keeps that role until the end of the season? Absolutely. I don't know why. I suppose it's kind of a try before you buy. Wrong way to describe it. But if Darren Fletcher does well, there's every chance that he will get that role until the end of the season. But if Solskjaer came back in, I'd be delighted. I think there would be a bounce. I think there would be a buzz. You'd probably get the vibes back. And Carrick, similar sort of thing. That's what I mean. Like, the role of this caretaker manager is to steady the ship and get more out of this squad than we're currently seeing. Goal-wise, we're scoring goals, but we are not secure enough. We're going to be playing 4 at the back, no matter who comes in. Cobby's going to go back into that team. You're going to see a big upturn from United. And I don't actually think it matters which of these 3 it is at this point. That's kind of my own take on it. I don't know whether that's a bit harsh or not. I'm looking forward to seeing what Fletcher does. Like, I think there's some United fans that think Fletcher's just a yes man that's going in. That's really, really unfair on Darren Fletcher, if I'm being completely honest. He's somebody who's worked his way through Manchester United in completely different roles, whether that was a technical director role, whether that was a first team coach, or whether that was the under-18s coach. He was in his first season because his 2 lads moved from the under-18s, Jack and Tyler. I mean, they got to be buzzing. They're now they're out the under-18s, so he went into the under-18s, and now, after half a season, he's got a job as Manchester United's interim manager. It's a huge opportunity for him. And it's first venture into management. I hope he nails it. And it'll be exciting if he does. But I think it's one of these 3. I don't know why I'm discounting Rude. If I'm being honest. I just feel that these 3 would probably be a steadier pair of hands. I don't know whether that's unfair or not. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. But the plan is for Fletcher to be in charge, guaranteed for the next 2 games. Maybe after that, Fletcher stays on until the end of the season as caretaker. But if it's not Fletcher, I think it's going to be one of these 3. Carrick or Solskjaer, maybe. Maybe Rude. Is there any other names you would mention you were thrown to the hat? But United are going to have a caretaker until the summer. And then from the summer, in terms of the permanent manager, well, that's a whole different video and a whole different concept and not something I need to rush into. I don't think it's going to be something that United rush into either.